Hi everyone, my name's Georgie Evans and I'm fashion editor of Tomorrow's digital showroom. I am soon to be joined by Coperni's Arnaud Vaillant. I'm very excited to be discussing their Autumn 2021 show, which premiered last week. It was quite the show, so very excited to be discussing it. Hi!
Hello, Georgie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you
I'm
so much for chatting.
pleasure.
I'm sure you're very, very in demand at the moment. Very busy. So I wanted to chat to you about this spectacular show because truly fantastic way to present. And I wanted to unpick your brain a little bit about that because for me, when I think of Coperni, I always think of digitally minded and so tech savvy. And so what was it that made you want to do a physical show and to do it in such an interesting capacity as well? Tell me a little bit about that.
When the pandemic happened, everyone was like, that's great for Coperni because you're so digital. That's perfect for you. You're going to do videos and things like that. And the physical, the human side is super important. We absolutely love digital and technology and innovation. It's part of the DNA brand of the brand, but Fashion Week is important and we need we're in Paris, we need to stand out. So last season, I think it was only like 15 shows in Paris instead of 100, and we did a physical one. It was the highest show ever done in Paris on the rooftop of the Montparnasse Tower for the opening of Paris Fashion Week, which was very exciting. And the results were great. We got new stockists, a lot of visibility. Even if it was only few people invited, it really worth it. And this season, Sebastian came with this amazing idea of bringing very few people by car, like a driving concept. And we have rented this amazing location in Paris where Beyoncé does a concert, like this huge stadium. And we have gathered 36 cars with few journalists and influencers. And the models were walking in the middle of the cars. It was amazing. I was so happy that it worked. It's the first time that it happens. It's
Yeah.
great.
It was quite amazing, and I can't even imagine the planning that went into such an event, particularly given the pandemic restrictions. Tell me a bit about that. I mean, it sounds like quite the headache, but definitely the payoff.
Yeah. So Sebastian got the great idea, but then I had to take care of the organization. It was a lot of work. It was insane. We had first we had to find the car, so we have called different car companies in Paris, and we came up naturally with DS Automobile, who is the official partner of the Paris Fashion Week, and we visited their atelier where they make the cars. It was super inspiring. So we had the chance to collaborate with DS for the cars. Then we had to find the drivers. Then we have to test the drivers because we didn't want to take any risks. And the journalist inside the cars has to be with the drivers tested.
Mm.
And then we have to find the location. It was a winter fashion week. If it was during summer, we could have done it like in a field, on a parking or whatever. I don't know, outside. But I mean, it had to be a closed location. So we visited few of them, and Bercy was the absolute most beautiful one. And voila, and then we had a lot of other details in the cars. The guests had a bit of champagne and a bit of candies and stuff. So we've prepared some stuff for them because it lasted maybe like 20 minutes from their house, then 20 minutes to show, then 20 minutes back to their house. It was like more than an hour, so we wanted them to enjoy the experience. And the two last thing which were complicated is that Sebastian really wanted to go further in this idea. So he didn't want any real light. He really wanted the lights to come from the cars. So the first amazing model, Adout, opened the show, and the lights of the car were starting one by one. So it was very
Dramatic.
well, like a scenography. And then the last thing, which was complicated, was the music because he didn't want to have the sound off this place, but he wanted the sound to come from each car. So we had to create a fake radio where all the drivers they were all on the same radio number, and they just had to highlight the sound, and it worked. It worked.
That's truly mind-blowing. I don't know how you guys pulled it off. My props to you. That's hugely impressive. I'm pleased that you mentioned the lighting because I wanted to pick your brain about how far did the idea for the drive-in show come before you guys were discussing designs, or did they kind of work in tandem? Because from what I see of the collection, a lot of it really lends itself well to these bright kind of car lights, you know, the rhinestones and some of the embroidery and the beautiful cobalt blues. To me, they work perfectly well together, but I'm wondering which came first.
It all came very early, actually. Like Sebastian really wanted to explore the night because usually Coperni is very bright, very day, and this time he wanted to explore the mysterious of the night. So the main inspiration of the collection is the night, and he came up with the car concept very early. And by the end of 2020, there was a possibility of doing a real show. At the beginning, we wanted to have just like few cars and real people invited sitting in the place. But then it was more complicated. We had the curfew, etc. So we kept the car and we just decreased the number of people and increased the sanitary rules and all the respect, all the things that we have to organize for that. And voilà. So yeah, so the main inspiration of the collection is the night in two specific ways. The first one is the dark side of the night, which is more like about dance, sex, about party, about sexy, feeling sexy and feeling in movement, and voilà. And the second one is more about the sleep, the regeneration, the sci-fi more aspect of the night, which was
It was very seductive, I thought. Lots of the zips made you wonder, can you take those apart? I think some of the bags and the shoes folded right down, as if kind of perfect for going when we can go out, packing a bag, taking your shoes with you. I was very excited at the prospect of going out in a Coperni look, I must say.
Yeah.
So do some of those zipped pieces come apart? Do they, or is it a design detail? Tell me a little bit about some of the zipped looks.
Yeah, there are a lot of zips to create indeed this seductive vibe. And for the show, we have to do an edit to come with the strongest message and silhouette we want to show. But the collection is actually twice bigger, and we have even more zips in the collection. We have this beautiful knitwear that you can zip with a collar and make a shoulder appear. You have the sexy dresses that you can open and close delicately. And then you also have the zip bags, which is a brand new story for the Coperni accessorize, which is made of apple leather. And the pattern, because we always like origami and construction at Coperni, and all this story is completely, the pattern is completely flat, and thanks to the zip, you can create the 3D of the garments. So I don't have them with me, but on the show there is this mini iPhone bag that you can completely unzip and put it straight flat. And then you have a little one for the night, and then you have a much bigger one for traveling. And I love this pattern zip construction. Yeah,
it's really smart. And you mentioned apple leather there, and that's something that I always associate with Coperni, is this innovation in fabrics. And the last collection you mentioned, you had such brilliant innovation in fabrics, kind of almost medical fabrics. So apple leather, tell me a bit about how you guys got into that.
I mean, sustainability is super important, so we always try to have different stories about that in the collection and always link it to innovation. And this time we found this company thanks to our team who did a lot of researches at Première Vision or all these fashion places where you look for materials. And we found this beautiful company which is Italian based, and they recycle all the apple, and so it's really like the end of the fruits when you just have like the end and you mix them, and it creates this base which is the same thickness and same vibe as the leather, and then they add a print on that to create the shiny effect of the leather. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. But it's important to keep finding innovative, sustainable things like that. And yeah, you're right. On our previous show, we were very into the antibacterial. We still have this part in the collection this season, and Sebastian would like to develop it even more because he feels that the customer needs to feel good in his clothes and feel protective and feel an added value that you don't necessarily find everywhere. So yeah.
There's definitely a kind of innovations, definitely what I think Coperni goes hand in hand with fabrics, show presentation. And just before we go, you mentioned last season's show was given the highest show ever, and this is such a groundbreaking presentation format. Do you feel a pressure now that next show has to be even more spectacular? Do you have to outdo yourself every season now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know yet the theme of the collection, so we're going to start with that and see what we can build. But we will see. It's going to be hard to do better, I have to say. The two previous ones were pretty amazing. Maybe we're going to go for something quiet. I don't know yet. Maybe a video. No, but no.
We shall see. We shall see. Everyone's waiting with bated breath. Very excited for next season, I'm sure. But for now, I'll let you bask in the autumn winter 21 glow because truly commendable. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Georgie. I'm now going to go on holidays. Thank you.
Good. Very well deserved. Take a break.
Thank
I'll
you.
speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao.